This is Turd Flinging Monkey for TFM News. I'm going to be responding to an article called Feds Paid $709,000 to Academic Who Studies Why Glaciers Are Sexist in the Daily Caller by Andrew Follett. Now, I'm going to be discussing something that the articles and other people I've seen comment on this article, because this article is a couple days old, that they've missed. Kind of the story behind the story. So, I don't know, there's really not a lot to talk about. So basically you have some feminist bullshit trying to merge postmodern feminist horse crap into a study about climate change and glaciers and shit like that. It reads, quote, merging feminist post-colonial science studies and feminist political ecology, the feminist glaciology framework generates robust analysis of gender, power, and epistemologies in social dynamic ecological systems, thereby leading to more just and equitable science and human-ice interactions, unquote. Now, if that sounds like a joke, you're not the only one who thought that. Several other scientists didn't believe this was not satire. They thought this was just a joke, something you would see in, like, The Onion. But no, this is legitimate, and in fact, it was published in the peer-reviewed journal Progress in Human Geography in January 2016. So it's legit. Someone actually created a paper with this retarded shit, and a peer-reviewed journal said, yeah, we can dig it. Yeah, let's publish it. And they did. Now, I highly recommend Marcus from the Groundwork for the Metaphysics of MGTOW. He did this whole series on feminist epistemology, and he actually explains why feminists believe this retarded shit and why it makes sense to them. I highly recommend that series. If you want to understand why feminists talk like this and why they're stupid and why they don't understand common sense and observable reality, watch that series. I'll post a link in the description. Watch that series, and it really explains just where the crazy comes from. I mean, I really commend Marcus for staring into the abyss of crazy and not becoming the monster himself. Anyway, the story I want to talk about isn't the direct story of this article. I want to talk about the story behind the story. What's really going on? And I can explain. No one else has talked about this. So I did a video a while ago about technical identities, where these feminists were trying to do a study about the gender identity of technology, like computers and shit. In fact, the thumbnail I made for that video was a mouse that looks like a vagina. The point is, these feminists are getting funding to study things in other fields that have nothing to do with gender studies. And this is the story behind the story. What you have is you have these feminists who have no marketable skills, and they're diverting money from actual scientific grants. So, you have a grant for STEM, which was the original video about the technical identities. So the National Science Foundation created this grant for STEM research. And then these feminists decided, oh, well, let's divert that money into gender studies. Well, how are we going to do that? It's a STEM grant. Well, why don't we study gender and technology? And they're like, that's crazy enough to work. And it worked. And they got money. So now they're trying again. Oh, shit. Like, we need more money. Oh, there's a grant for climate change. How can we get that to be diverted into the gender studies program? Oh, let's claim glaciers are sexist. Oh, it's crazy enough to work, and it worked. Yeah, I don't really blame the feminists. I mean, think about it. Think about when you wake up in the morning with your gender studies degree, and you're $100,000 in debt, and nobody wants to give you a job because gender studies has absolutely no value. But imagine you're just really committed to gender studies and just, you're not going to give up that fight. You're not going to get any marketable skills and major in something worth a shit. You're going to make it work. You're going to force that square peg into that round hole. So what you're going to do is you're going to divert grants that are meant for STEM and other actual scientific research into studying gender studies, into feminist bullshit, because that's the only way you're going to pay your bills. Because you have literally nothing to offer the world other than your horse shit. But so I don't blame the feminists. I mean, they're doing what they got to do. I mean, they got bills to pay, they got student loans to pay off, and they're probably ugly, so they can't even turn to prostitution. So what are they going to do to get money? Well, they're going to be doing shit like this. I don't blame the feminists. I blame the person at the National Science Foundation who's like, yeah, sexist glaciers, why not? Yeah, let's do that. Let's give them $750,000. And then the person in this peer-reviewed journal called Human Geography who's like, yeah, sexist glaciers, I like it. Let's put that in the January edition. Why not? Those are the people I'm most disappointed with. because they don't have to. You know, a feminist with no marketable skills, they have to get creative to keep the lights on, you know what I'm saying? But if you work at this peer-reviewed journal, or if you work at the National Science Foundation, why are you doing this? So whoever works at the National Science Foundation who keeps approving these grants for these feminist gender studies shit they're trying to shoehorn into other fields, they need to be fired. They should not be approving grants. They're clearly not capable of doing their job to the satisfaction of anyone with common sense. And this journal, whatever. I mean, sometimes journals publish retarded articles simply to get their name in the paper. Maybe someone will actually read their shitty journal. Who knows? What else is there to say about this? This isn't going to be the last time they do this. Anytime there's money to be made, expect women to be there. They follow the money. It's just like Gamergate. Women didn't care about gaming until gaming became a huge industry, and then they showed up like, oh, now you gotta cater to us because we have vaginas. Cater everything needs to be for our benefit. Now that there's money. When there wasn't money, when gaming was a niche industry, women were like, yeah, you're a bunch of nerds. Nerds with your video games. And then when it became a huge industry, it's like, give me the money too. I have a vagina. Sprinkle the money on me. Make it rain. Women are like bloodhounds for money. Just like, I smell money. It's not going to be the last time. I don't know what's going to be next. Whatever the priority of science is, whatever they're researching, if women can divert some of those funds into gender studies and feminist bullshit by saying a bunch of big words they don't understand, they're going to do it. And shame on the people who let them get away with it. Shame on the people who approve these grants and publish their bullshit. 1,000 tisks on you, sir or madam. 1,000 tisks. This is Turd Flinging Monkey, signing off.